Welcome to episode 370 of the Game Deflators podcast. My name is John, and I am joined by Ryan in another hat.
Hey, here at the Game Deflators podcast, we like to talk about games we've recently picked up, games we're currently playing, and we yippee-ki-yay in this week's Inflation Deflation Challenge.
So it is December for this episode, and we figured let's get ready with some Christmas with Die Hard Trilogy.
The best Christmas movie.
On the PS1. So we'll dive into that in our inflation deflation of the week. But Ryan, what else are we talking about today?
Welcome to the party, pal, said no one who attended to the moon. Then hopefully you don't need to pull a Hans Gruber to afford Valve's new Steam machine. And lastly, GTA fans want their game, and they're going to count to 3. There will not be a 4. Then we wrap it all up in a triple feature in today's Inflation Deflation Challenge.
So you can, of course, find the Game Deflators on thegamedeflators.com. We're also on social media at Game Deflators on X, at The Game Deflators on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and Blue Sky. We're also on YouTube, so if you're watching, thank you. If you're listening, catch us on your favorite podcast application. Leave us a 5-star review. And, of course, comment, like, subscribe. Everything goes along with it. All right. Let's dive into our recent pickups. Ryan, you are blurry on my side, so I hope you did not cut out.
No, I'm doing all right.
All right. So the first pickups are Will's favorite, if you catch last week's episode. So Jumbo Cactuar, I got a foily version of him. I figured, why not? 10,000 needles. And then I also got Tasha the Witch Queen. Picked up that card, little foily as well. Again, figured, why not? Might as well get a couple.
What are you, just like building a deck, or are these just for having?
I just wanted them, so I picked them up. All right, now gaming pickups. I don't know if I mentioned this one before, but I picked up a little bit back Among the Sleep.
Okay.
On the Switch. The PS4 version is absurdly expensive, so Switch was pretty affordable. Got...
Oh, man, you got a whole stack back there.
Oh, yeah, I do. NHL 26, my boy Matthew Tkachuk on the front, so I had to pick that up.
Is that inspired by our recent NHL hits?
Yes and no. I was planning on getting that game a while back, and mainly because the Panthers player is holding the Stanley Cup on the front, so I'm a big Panthers fan, so I had to get it. I also got Red Dead Redemption on the PS4.
I can see what's coming next.
Oh, can you now? Can you? Maybe Red Dead Redemption 2, also on the PS4.
Such a good game.
Yeah.
Have you played either of those?
No. So my wife wants to play it with me, so we'll go through it. Visions of Mana on PS5. We also got the Plucky Squire.
Oh, I want to play that. I never got to play that.
Well, it's $15 brand new at GameStop, so maybe check it out.
Nice.
Also got God of War Ragnarok.
Got to play that someday. Got to beat the last one.
Lords of the Fallen. I've been having my eye on this one for a while, so I picked it up. And of course, got that loose.
Wait, is Lords of the Fallen, is that the first one or the second one?
This is a remake.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I don't remember if I shared this. Did I share if I got Horizon on a prior?
No.
So I got Forbidden West to complete.
That looks just like another game that I've seen. Like 100%.
Like 100%. Some
like 100%.
Some game that Tencent's coming out with or trying to come out with. Trying to put Mickey Mouse things in place. Yeah. So I got a complete edition. It was $30 for the complete on that. Among the Sleep I got for I think $10. Lords of the Fallen was $15. $30 on NHL 26. And then Red Dead 1 and 2, Plucky Squire, Visions, and God of War Ragnarok came out to like 75 shipped, I think. That's what it came out to. And that was with no like store credit or anything like that. So
nice.
Yeah, wasn't bad. So I think in total for my gaming spree, I spent about $150 on all those.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's good pull. Not too shabby. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm trying to see if I have anything else. Oh, yeah, this was random. This is totally not gaming related, but I saw this with all the news about the penny going away. I was like, I should totally pick up an original penny. Let's see if it like zooms out or not. It's not doing it correctly. But this is from, it's like the big bust penny. And so if you can see that is from 17 something. What is it? 1793.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's an old penny.
Yeah. No, I actually do have a coin collection that I've had for years. So yeah, I figured why not? Well, you know that I had a coin collection. Got passed down.
You collect a little bit of everything.
I do. No, that's actually something's been in the family. So my mom used to collect them, so I inherited her coin collection over the years, and I've added to it every now and then. I'll throw something in there, since that'll go to my son when he's older. But there's a lot of foreign coins, not a lot of American currency. I picked up a lot of American currency when I was younger, but yeah, it's a lot of things like, Mexico and Japan and Nepal and
just fun stuff.
Yeah, like my grandpa used to travel the world a lot as an architect, and so whenever he would go to different countries, he would gather different coins for my mom, and he'd bring them back to the States, and that's how she got her collection. So I have like crazy bills, dude, like stuff from like Venezuela. It's like a $1 million bill and stuff because the currency was so bad during certain eras. So, or I think it was Nicaragua. But yeah, it's all stuff that like you look at, it's like, what's the value on like 1,000,000 pesos from this country? It's 10 cents. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's all fun to look at. It's all cool historical pieces. So I really like it. But
nice.
that is it on what I'm picking up. Now, as far as what I'm currently playing, I completed The Witcher. It's done.
Congratulations.
All done. I sent you a picture, obviously, so you could see that, yes, proof I was at the final scene. And it's good. I liked it, man. I would say that the ending does kind of cut short in a sense. I feel a lot of that's if I would have gone into all the crazy side quests and done all of the extra stuff, maybe I would have got a better feel for it. But I was also up against a time crunch to try and finish it up. I did not anticipate that I was going to beat it that quickly. So I think it was the night that we recorded with Will, actually, or like the day after.
I think it was the next day. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Oh, it was the next day. Yeah, because it was like the afternoon. Since I had off, I think we recorded on like a Thursday, and then I don't remember. Or no, I beat it on a Saturday. No, a Saturday because my wife was working. So yeah, Saturday, kids napping. I'm like, all right, let's dive into this. Let's play it. So I got through all the battles I was getting through and finished up. And it's like, you're in the epilogue. I'm like, whoa, that was fast. Like I had other things I wanted to do, but I guess I'll jump into this epilogue. And the epilogue is just like like one continuous battle. That's all it is. So you're going through Vizima, you're battling all these enemies, you get to the final boss, and you're done. Like that's it. And then you have a final scene where you're chatting with the king, and he gets attacked, and you kill this person off, and then you just kind of go on your way. So I mean, that's obviously a very light version of it, but it was pretty decent. I am looking forward to playing number 2. And we'll see how that goes. It's not going to be on my list anytime soon because I jumped into Stellar Blade on the PS5. So if you keep up,
what a transition,
right? I
from like some super janky to like some super like
refined,
fluid. Yeah,
Stellar Blade does have its jank that I have found. So I'll go into that a little bit. So the game itself right now, like beautiful graphics, absolutely love that. The gameplay is fantastic as far as like the battles are concerned. To me, it's like Devil May Cry meets Dark Souls in a bikini or like tight leather. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And it's really cool, dude. It's got like crazy rock music whenever you're playing in like these battles against these I forget what they're called. The Natiba, I think, is the name of the enemies on the planet. Or Earth, really, like a post-apocalypse Earth that's been taken over by these Natibas, and they've pretty much wiped out humanity, and you're trying to take it back from them. So, yeah, in general, like the combat's great, hack and slash, feels like Devil May Cry, and then you get into the battles, and you have like parrying and perfect dodges. And things like that, along with your combo attacks you can put in place. You could ambush enemies to stab them from behind and do instant kills. You're able to boost up certain pieces. So, like, certain types of attacks can be boosted. You can boost up your HP by finding like human souls or something along with your beta max, which is your attack, like your special attacks. So similar to like if you were finding a flask or you were finding some other component to raise up your character's stats within Dark Souls. The battles themselves can be kind of difficult. It just depends. Like, so the first boss is considered the Brute, which is an elite Snathiba, and that one you have somebody else you're teaming up with. So you end up beating that one fairly easily. The second one is called Abaddon, and he was fairly, if it's a he, was I beat that one on my third try, and that was a matter of like just perfecting the getting away from lightning, hitting parries, and then attacking in perfect dodges. Like that was pretty straightforward. The Corruptor was the next one that I battled, and that one was a little tougher for me, which was weird because it should have been easier. But that one you have to do these like it's not a perfect parry or perfect dodge. It's like when they're using a lethal attack on you, you're supposed to kind of not combo, but like counter using like up and circle, which would be your dodge typically, and you like jump behind them and you're able to do like dodge their lethal attack and then do like some big attacks on them. So that's kind of a main point on that, but it didn't help that it would spew poison out. It would rush you. It just, I was being a little too aggressive in my gameplay with it. So it probably took me like 8 or 9 tries to jump into it or to beat it. But ultimately ended up taking that down and then just progressing through this world. Where there is a little bit of jank that I've noticed is kind of in the climbing. So if you're trying to climb up a ledge or something, or you're trying to climb up on something and then like use a pole to jump off of or like swing towards something else, that's a little odd in that the character Eve doesn't really like step up properly, so you got to jump, and sometimes you might overjump because of that. Getting up ladders can be a little bit of a pain in the ass because you have to be like perfect on the ladder to go up. And it's very fast. Like I don't know, the game moves or the character movements are pretty quick, so it's easy to kind of accidentally walk around something and not hit your target
It's
correctly.
just not really the smoothest platforming
Yeah, like that in
or
particular.
navigational
Yeah, like
controls.
being able to navigate the character can be a little odd. Um, I'm sure I'll get used to it as I play through more. I've only played 2.5 hours roughly of a game. I've only gone through 3 boss fights, and it's pretty good. And then when you go into these camps, so similar to like what you would have with if you're resting at a bonfire or any other like Souls type of game or a game that mimics that, you go to a camp, and when you're in the camp, there's 2 different types. There's like a regular camp, which will have a resting area where you could seat yourself and gain back your like potions that you can use. You can boost up your stats at the camp, and then you can also buy items that are specifically at the camp as well. Now, there are other types of camps where you can transport yourself to prior camps that you were at. Um, and then there's the ability to modify like your suit and increase your weapon damage, increase the what do you call it? It's like a drone that follows you, named Adam. So it's a guy named Adam that's controlling it on the back end. And then you can customize like your suit and things like that. So all of that is built into that piece in addition to the other components, which is being able to up your skills, being able to buy items, and then of course rest in that area. So far it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. It's like I said, fast gameplay, decent boss battles. You do have difficulties, so you can do story mode, which obviously is less difficult, normal, and then hard. I'm playing on normal. I don't want to sit there for hours on end trying to beat a boss, so I thought that was pretty nice to just have that difficulty component tied in. And it's still challenging. It's not like the easiest game, but it's definitely, I think, much easier than if I was playing on hard mode, of course. So, I mean,
Nice.
goes without saying, of course, right? Hard mode's going to be harder, but from a challenge perspective, it's actually it's fairly, I would say, fairly challenging.
I mean, sometimes you're just trying to get through a game.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I could have put story mode to just get through a game, but that's not the type of game that I want to do like a story mode on, right? Like, I want to have those battles and I want to feel like, in one of the battles, like, God dang it, like, can't get past whatever enemy. And my wife is like, "Oh,
You
what do
want
you?"
to earn some
Yeah,
victories.
you kind of want to earn, like you said, earn a victory, and which is ultimately these types of games. So like Lords of the Fallen, if there was a difficulty meter and you had like easy, medium, hard, I'd probably play it on medium, right? Because I'd want to play the game and get some challenge while also enjoying the story. So that's, for that type of game. Whereas like Silent Hill, survival horror, I'll definitely play an easy mode on that, uh, for story purposes to get through it, because it's mainly story that you're playing for, right? These games, it's a little more challenge that you're looking for, but they do have story layered in. And I feel that that's kind of what's lost in games like, Elden Ring and Dark Souls. It's so driven towards the difficulty component of the game that you become like so attached to that as the focal point, and you forget the actual lore and everything that's built in, because you're just looking for like that next big battle that's going to come up. So you don't really, like, at least in my opinion, I don't stay as focused on the story, because I'm like, okay, cool, what's the next big battle I got to get to, and how do I level grind to get there, right? Like that's my full focus. And I kind of wish it was a little different, right? Like there was, and we've talked about this in the past, like an Elden Ring, having a different difficulty setting would be fantastic, so I could enjoy more of the lore and dive into. I don't feel like I need to sit there and level grind for 3 or 4 hours at a time to beat a boss. Versus if there is somewhat of a challenge that's tied to that game, that's okay, but I still can enjoy the story that comes with it. So that's about it for me. I see that you have no pickups, but what are you currently playing?
Yeah, I don't have a pickup. I have a anti pickup leading to a future pickup. My play date is unfortunately non-operating at this point. I tried to go in and fix the connection issue. It worked, and then it stopped working. And when I went to go try to fix it again, um, it did not go well, and now it is not working. So I'm gonna have to send it in to them and get a new one. It sucks, but that's what you get. So,
Well, that sucks.
yeah, I know. And I mean, I did get like one of the first batches that they sent out. So, I mean, I got a couple years out of it before something happened. And I don't know if it's that common, but I did talk, I think a few weeks ago, that I had reached out to their customer service and they were like, oh, yeah, here, we'll give you like a voucher towards like a purchase of a new one. So hopefully that's still doable. And then I can get that swapped out and get that because I would love to have it back. And
If they're
then
doing vouchers for like a new one based on just a phone conversation, then it's probably a common issue.
yeah,
Like they just,
could be.
I don't think they go based on just trust. I mean, they might, um, but at the end
Who
of the day, if
knows?
you're calling, you're like, hey, I'm an original buyer. Here's my low
Oh, I
serial
just
number.
emailed.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be a common issue. Like I don't see companies being like, here's a voucher for a free play date without,
Oh, it wasn't for free. It's just like $30 off the
oh,
purchase of a new
well,
one.
that's kind of screwed up. But
I mean, it's outside of the 1 year warranty. It's better than nothing.
yeah, I wonder if you would have been like hammering that out, like playing it almost every day for a year, if it would have blown out on you faster.
I don't know. Could be.
Maybe. Um, well, can you sell the broken one?
No, I gotta send it back to them, and then they'll release the new one.
So you're gonna send back the broken one. They're gonna give you $30 off of a new one.
Yeah.
That's that's a little screwed up, man. Like you should probably check how much a broken playdate goes for on eBay before you do that, and put that towards the purchase of a new one. Because all you're doing is you're sending them a broken console that they're gonna repair in house and then flip as a refurb.
I don't know how it works,
And
man.
like, what is it? What do they sell for normally?
I think they were like 150 or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, so
Let's see.
you're gonna ship a playdate back. They're gonna give you $30, and now they've paid you $30 in credit, basically, which is no skin out of their pocket to buy a playdate. They're gonna take that console because
Oh,
they
230.
yeah. I would look it up on eBay and see if you can sell it broken, because that to me is a bit of a ripoff. If they're gonna just send you $30 and you got to send them back the original console as is, they're just gonna repair it and sell it as a refurb.
Yeah. I know. I wish I could just send it back to get it repaired
And
instead.
they won't let you do that.
I mean, that's not what they said when I emailed them. No.
Yeah, double check that. See if there's a way to like a cost to repair it. And if there's not, check what broken playdates go for parts on eBay. Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing: if you sell it on eBay for like, let's just say hypothetically, like
More than
more than
$30.
30, like if you net more than 30, then you've already made out better anyway selling your broken playdate, and then you put it towards a new playdate.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna net out better. Or
All right.
or you take the cash from that and you buy a new one on eBay or like a used one that's maybe in decent condition and you save some money there too.
Well, I'll do some more research maybe.
Yeah, that's a worthwhile one.
So yeah, that's my only pickup adjacent thing. And then I played some more Cyberpunk. My God, this game, like 8 hours to get through the intro.
Is it good at
Well,
least?
maybe not 8 hours, but like six or so. Yeah, I mean, so like the game does a pretty decent job of like, all right, we're gonna start you off just kind of like on an intro, bit, and then you go into a mission, and it's like only kind of like half a mission. You're not even really doing much. You just kind of pick up a guy, you go through a border check, and then like some shit happens, but then it kind of goes all cutscene on you. And then you proceed to go into a big montage where you see you and that guy, and you can tell time's passing. You're getting to know each other. You're chummy. You're working together. And then finally you kind of start back up. You do like a quick mission and then get into, all right, the setup for like the real intro mission. So you do like a bunch of build up to kind of like establish your character a little bit, establish your relationship with this other character a little bit, get kind of the like, all right, this is the mission that's going to make you guys kind of thing, make some decisions in there. It learn some big crazy stuff, see some shit you weren't supposed to see, and make it out the other side, and start the game.
Hmm.
Meet the Keanu Reeves character and really kind of start to get into it. So that whole process was definitely a lot more elaborate and in depth than like usually I think of when you start Fallout. Like whenever you start a Fallout game, there's like a pretty good tutorial bit, that takes a little while. You get a little bit of knowing your character or some area and familiarizing yourself with all the mechanics and stuff. So this was definitely a much more elaborate version of that.
When you finish that
And
like 8 hour period, does it then say like cyberpunk? Like it comes up on screen? And then you're like,
I
they're like,
think,
are you
yeah,
kidding me?
yeah, I
That was
think
the
that's
intro.
when finally the title card part happened.
Oh man. And they did that crap on purpose too.
Yeah,
Like make it that long. And then so your reactions like that was just the intro.
yeah,
That's great.
definitely.
That's
And I
great.
mean, there's so much to this game. Like I'm looking at all of the tech trees for leveling up, and there's just like, wow, there's a whole bunch of stuff I can do. Who knows how much of this I'm even going to be able to see? And you start off with like, I think there's 5 different skills or like abilities, so to say, like your tech, cool, body, um smarts, and some other one I can't remember.
I'm gonna predict that
Oh, agility.
I'm gonna predict you don't finish the game.
Oh no, yeah, definitely not. But on each of these like abilities, they've got all of the different tech trees, and you've got some of them have like 6 or 7 abilities before you even hit like the actual tech tree, because you need to have like 7 points or 9 points in that ability to even unlock the rest of the tech tree. So you're already having to spend a bunch of points, and I'm just like, where am I even going to go? It looks like it's pretty easy to refund the points and change your build up, which I like in a game. I like a
Yeah.
game that just kind of gives you that ability to be flexible with your points and stuff.
Stellar Blade does that too, by the
And
way. You can reset your points in your grid.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole like outfit system where you just like are make pre-made outfits, your always out. If you're
What?
naked, yeah,
Oh,
you choose your in the character
what?
customization. Yeah,
You know what? Now that you mention it, I do remember that being a thing. Yeah, because can't you do
yeah. So I'm just
you
like,
can do like aliens and stuff, right? And be like a purple character and such.
no, no,
No,
you're just like people.
okay, I could have sworn that you could do. Maybe I was looking at a mod or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but
possible.
it's just I'm in my apartment. I'm like, oh, let me change my outfit. Oh, there it is.
Can you just run
I'm
around?
out.
Can you just run around naked the entire time?
Probably.
You should try
I
it.
haven't tried it yet.
You should. You should start streaming the game and just have your character naked. That's it.
Right.
See how fast it takes to
That's
get
a good way to stream.
see how fast it takes to get flagged.
Yeah. But the game has some things that are obvious kind of misses, and I know that they've done a bunch to rebuild the game up and kind of make a 2.0 version that was way better than the launch. So I know that a bunch of stuff is already far improved from the launch, but it is kind of annoying. Like my car got wrecked, and so I can't summon my car. I could get in another car, but I can't like register that as my car.
You
And
can
it took me forever. Huh?
call the boys in Final Fantasy 15. Whenever I wrecked my car, it came back brand new every time.
Yeah, exactly. And then it took me forever to find a motorcycle. Like there just aren't cars just sitting parked on the side of the road like in GTA. Like I guess in 2077 nobody parks on the side of the road anymore. And like I'll be pulling up to the one place in my beat up as shit car because I just ram into everything because the cars just they drive a little funky. Like maybe I'm just not used to it yet, but I think I remember people saying they drive a little funky. I don't know. A lot of me has been feeling compelled lately because there's a couple. Noah Caldwell Gervais has a really good video on Cyberpunk, and then Action Button Tim Rogers he made like a choose your own adventure style like 7 videos on Cyberpunk 2077. And I've watched most of those, but I'm at the point now where I'm like, I want to watch stuff about the game, but I'm playing the game. So I don't want to watch stuff about the game that could influence or like break my, immersion or ruin some spoilers for me or whatever, even though I've already seen those videos a bunch of times years ago. I've been waiting so long to play this game because I wanted like the full PS5 Pro experience. And I just haven't been able to set aside that much time for it. I mean, we went and got like all our Christmas stuff. We did the
Yeah.
Friendsgiving this week. So,
Mhm.
like, even though I had extended time off, I was not able to just plant my butt on the couch and play all weekend like I, wished I could have.
Yeah,
So,
I would be playing Stellar Blade after we record tonight, but it's going to be Sunday at 10 o'clock or 10:30, and I've got to edit to be able to get it out in time for everybody to listen. So, Stellar Blade
yeah.
will take place tomorrow night. Maybe because usually Mondays are reserved for me creating all of our other videos that go out throughout the course of the week. So, yeah,
Well, we'll make it easy on you because that's all I got for tonight.
awesome. Well, let's dive into the first thing here, which is the To the Moon Expo out of the UK. It says, I probably could have counted the number of attendees on one hand. This comes to us from Game Industry Biz. So, Ryan, kick us off on this one.
Yeah, so To the Moon Expo occurred, if you could call it occurring, in Birmingham on November 12th. So it's been a couple weeks now, but it was a sad event meant to be a, for gamers, by gamers gaming event in the UK to kind of make up for their lack of gaming content in the schedule. I guess this was supposed to be a kind of a good fit and something that people wanted to fill the gap left by a previous thing, the Insomnia Gaming Festival, but it just was not. It was not it. People saying this is DashCon, but for games in the UK.
And no
Just
ball pit.
when you, yeah, when you look at the pictures, you could just see it. I mean, giant, giant empty venue with just some of those kind of like black blocker barriers and just a handful of people standing there, and this is not the 15,000 people event that the con organizers were originally hoping for. And It just, yeah, nobody really showed up. People say that it was overpriced. You know, a lot of the um, talks that went on, there was only, you know, a handful of people or one or two people actually there watching some of these, you know, presentations and panels. I have a feeling it was not a profitable venture for anyone involved.
Yeah, I think this is a situation where some people thought, hey, there's a gap in the market. Let's go ahead and make a convention, and didn't factor in everything that needs to happen to make a convention go, along with trying to make it way too big, way too fast with little experience. So if you were to take this event and you were to go into like a university campus in the area where you already have a lot of your clientele or your target market there, come in at a super affordable price point, and then and I'm giving like con secrets here away for a startup, it seems, but like come in at a super affordable price point with a reduced type of cost tied to the venue, especially if you offer like free tickets to those students, that allows you the platform to start developing a brand and then move that forward, right? And this was, there's a gap. We think we can host in this giant ass building. We're just going to put together 12 video game consoles and 6 arcade cabinets and try and bring in as many vendors while overpricing the hell out of it. And then hopefully people will come on word of mouth, while we trash our competitors in the market for poor conventions, despite the fact that they have a major foothold in your area. Because that's a thing in this article, is that these organizers were out trashing the competition in the market. Like, you don't think your competition that's going throughout the course of a year leading to your event is going to be talking poorly about your conference, before it even happens, and trashing that and say, no, you shouldn't go. You should go to this. Like, they're going to be making recommendations of other events outside of yours. And a lot of people are loyal to those conferences too, believe it or not. Once you've established a brand in the market for a convention, you have people that will go to that conference every year. And if you start trashing their conference, they're not going to go to your conference now, because of that.
Yeah,
No,
once you hit somebody's community, they want to hit
and
back.
that's really what it is. It's community at the end of the day for these conferences. And a lot of the people that go to different conferences, they go to different events because they like going to conventions. And it's all part of the community for each of those events. But if you start trashing on that one, it's not going to work out in the best for you. The only big events that succeed right away are the ones that have like multi-million dollar backing from the very get-go. If you're doing something,
Anything with Jeff Keighley.
yeah, yeah, or like drug money, as I heard from as I talk crap about an old conference. That was a thing apparently. But essentially, yeah, I mean, like if you're going to be starting something up like that and you don't have the financial backing, don't put yourself in a giant ass expo hall, anticipating you're going to get 15,000 people. If that's your estimate for like year one, yeah, you're smoking something really good at that point, if that's what you think is going to happen. Even some of the most successful conventions that have been around for years and years and years don't even hit like 1,000 to 2,000 people. So, I mean, it's all about financial backing and how you scale it.
Yeah, not everybody's New York Comic Con,
Yeah.
and you may never reach those numbers.
And some events don't even want to reach those numbers, right? They want to have a nice, intimate feeling and less of the logistics that are tied to it. And that's perfectly fine. Like if you want that type of event, but these people just straight up thought, yeah, we can do this whole big event and make it work, right? Now, comparatively, we kind of talked before the episode. We had like UwuCon out here, right? And we attended that event. We were like, man, this is kind of light, for an event, but I think they did pretty well. Like looking back at it, because they
I
did,
mean, the only awkward thing was the venue because it
yeah.
was in this big, like, sports center place, and it was just like we had to walk across like a room that had like 8 basketballs, you know, setups in it and teams playing and parents everywhere, and we were just like, are we in the right place?
They were, I think, banking on the fact that like families that were in attendance on a Saturday were going to go to that. When I think realistically, if you're a kid and you're playing basketball for like an hour and a half and your parents sitting there having the last thing you want to do is hang out even longer in the sports facility if you're a sweaty kid, or if they want to go hang out with their friends afterwards, right? Or maybe you got errands you have to run like on a Saturday or Sunday. So that I think was we think we have an opportunity here to hit like a bunch of families at one time, and it didn't pan out, at least from what we saw while we were there. But I think they probably structured it the right way because they returned for another year at a different venue this past year. I ended up missing it. I didn't even know it was happening till like the day of, and I just couldn't make the plans. Um, but for that particular event that we went to, I think they probably had most of their. I know for a fact they had some of their voice actors in attendance on guarantees because I was chatting with them that night. So I knew structurally they had some guarantees in place. So they didn't have to pay a lot of money out of pocket for that. They had enough vendors to be able to fill some of that space and help support the cost. And I would think that venue that we went to, I believe it went bankrupt like shortly after we went there.
Mm.
So they were probably hurting for more, events and money in general, and probably gave them a pretty good deal for the space. It wasn't the most ideal space. So I think they did well enough that they were able to maybe break even on their expenses, which gave them enough to be able to host somewhere else. And they went to a different venue. I think they went to the Mesa Arts Center this past
Oh,
year,
okay.
which is probably it's a more intimate venue from what I know. I've been to that venue. Um, I would think is probably more suited for what they were looking to accomplish. And I didn't go, so I don't know how successful it might have been and how many attendees, but I would think given that central location to the rest of the valley, it probably did a little bit better, I would anticipate. And even though I didn't know the event was happening, I'm also not exactly their target market for an anime con nowadays. And that's predominantly what they are is anime with a little bit of dabbling into gaming. So yeah, I that's really about it from my perspective, even though it's a little long-winded. So, I don't know,
Yeah, I
anything
mean,
else?
just, reaching too high too fast. I mean, it's not wrong to try. The way that they tried didn't work. So, I mean, there is some positive things to be said, like some of the indie people that were there had a good time. They were just happy to be able to have, some people show up that they could show their game off to and get some feedback. So,
Yeah,
I mean, if they can try again, next year, do it cheaper, do it at a smaller venue, try to do it right. I mean, maybe they could grow something. There's no there's no harm in giving it a shot.
yeah. And for I guess for anybody that hasn't listened before and, like, why I'm putting in my perspective and would paint myself, I guess, as an expert is I did run an event for 8 years, and a very successful one at that before deciding to not continue. So, um
That's how successful it
that's
was.
how successful yeah, decided I didn't wanna yeah, we had, like, it was a technical glitch that ended up contributing to us not I mean, not that we couldn't host it, we could have hosted it the next year, but it was one of those situations where, like, everybody was out of state, organizing it was difficult, and we just all decided, like, "You know what? Let's kind of cease, um, hosting the event moving forward." So we could have technically continued, but decided not to. But we had upwards to several thousand attendees at my event, and I mean it was growing. I think that we would have done pretty good moving forward if we would have switched venues like we were planning. But
Should have tried Birmingham.
yeah, right. Yeah, for us it would have been Birmingham, Alabama at that point. Uh, but yeah, we decided not to moving forward. And I think if we didn't have that glitch in our finance type thing, which lost us quite a bit of money. It was basically, I think I told you this. We had a glitch with our credit card processing that it didn't capture like 60% of the revenue that we generated from the event. And ultimately, we weren't able to, like, we had enough money that we could do it. But if we had gotten that 60%, we would have been in a far different position where we probably would have kept going at a different venue moving
Yeah.
forward. So I'm actually, in a sense, looking back on it, I'm kind of happy that we stopped because then I wouldn't be doing things like the podcast and playing extra games because most of my nights were dedicated towards every facet of running a convention. So it was all the marketing tied to out of state marketing, along with all the creative aspects, contracting, negotiations with venues, trying to work on getting police and bringing in new consoles, and all of that being out of state was an absolute nightmare. So
Yeah.
we made it work, but it wasn't ideal. It's harder to do when you're not in the market that you're actually hosting an event at. So
I can only imagine.
yeah, it was not that great. So all right. Let's go into the next piece, and this is Linus Tech Tips. Thinks that the Steam Machine price will be around $700, and this comes to us from Insider Gaming. I think this is your contribution this week.
Yeah, so I mean, just a little summary here. Linus has like a 20 something minute video going into more detail, but basically, now that the Steam machine, people have been able to take a look at it. We've got an idea of what's inside of it. Obviously, there's some custom stuff, so not everything is one to one, but people are building their own versions and speculating on the Steam machine because we don't really know what the price was going to be. And that's kind of the biggest factor here is like, okay, Valve, you want to make a mid-level gaming PC accessible to everybody. That means it's priced well, and you want it to compete with like the PlayStation 5, potentially the PlayStation 6 when it comes out. What do you got for us? And right now we are in a very volatile time. Memory is rising in price. The cost of memory now is huge. I think they say it in here.
We should have a
Let's
picture of
see
the
here.
rent is too damn high guy.
Right.
Yeah, I should
Um,
have dressed properly
but
for that too.
Yeah, so they were saying that based on like historical low pricing of all of, equivalent pieces of what are in here, you could price it out to about $602, but that number has increased significantly in recent months by a whopping 50%, bringing the price to around $900. But they're kind of lowballing it, thinking that, if Valve is able to kind of bury their margins a little bit, go with kind of a loss leader approach so that they're getting, you know, users in, which will in turn generate more of that 30% revenue from everything in their Steam library that they purchase. Then they'll be looking at, maybe around like $800, hopefully like $700, but yeah, they're thinking probably between $700 and $800. And I mean, that's pricey. I mean, a new PS5 Pro, $750. So you're directly competing right there with the PS5. And I mean, that Pro I think is like a 2 terabyte, where this would be probably just like a 512.
Yeah,
And then if you're looking to go up to 2 terabytes or something, or a terabyte, then maybe you're looking at like $1,000. And at that point, I mean, custom built PC is looking pretty close, and maybe you're able to get a little bit better on some of that hardware. It's all going to be very dependent on what the final cost is and what the what's going on with the tariffs, what's going on with memory, what's going on in the whole world. Like, we just don't live in a stable environment anymore. So whatever they launch it at, I mean, that might be the time to get in, honestly. Like, with as much as consoles have gone up and as much as everything's kind of going up, like whenever it comes out, whatever that price is, that might be the cheapest that you ever see it for.
yeah, but
So that's kind of something to think about too, if you're thinking about it at all.
I think it's highly dependent on like what hardware they're using. Are they using prior generation hardware or are they using the most recent hardware? Because if you look at the difference in RAM, like DDR4 versus DDR5, it's
Wait, I thought we
significantly.
looked it up.
He's looking at like ideas. He has an idea. I'm like, yeah, it's 16 gigabytes of RAM, but I don't think he specifically says like it's this type of RAM versus this type of RAM. I didn't see that broken out in his estimate. And he put together a whole bunch of stuff to say, here's kind of what we think based on the specs that we know and what it could be. Here's the price point at the low end. And he gives a low end value of 700. Like if you're looking at the absolute lowest market value on these particular parts, it would be $700, but it could, if you look at, a terabyte or 2 terabyte goes up, right? So, but I think that's also dependent on like what type of RAM we're looking at, right? What is the new, like, are we looking at brand new hardware? You said there's some customized stuff on here. How does that impact it? So I think 700 is about right if Valve is looking to, get into that like maybe 10% profit margin range. If they want to see greater profit margins, then they maybe go $800 to $900 for a base model. Who knows? Or I think if they were smart about it, maybe they would take the first year as a loss leader in that, maybe price it 600 to be below a PS5. And it kind of opens the doors for people to, jump into that PC world that maybe they thought was not possible for them, right? Playing Steam games, or if it like really opens up the possibilities for them as a new gamer on PC, technically. And then that in turn obviously helps Valve because you got things like Steam sales and, discounted games and things like that. So I can see them going below the $700 mark to be a loss leader. I can also see them putting out multiple versions, as we've seen in the past with different types of consoles, right? Having the entry point at 700 at maybe 512, 800 for a terabyte, maybe 1,000 for 2 terabytes and like increased RAM. You could also see situations where maybe they allow, and I don't know if this is included here, but like the customization of it. Like, can you crack it open and slot in 32 gigabytes of RAM versus 16? Like, I don't know what all the possibilities are tied to that.
Will you be able to afford it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know that affordability is too big of an issue for most people that'd be looking to buy this. But I think if they want to pull in a lot of those console gamers, they do have to price it well to be able to compete with the existing consoles. 700 does put in that range, but if you're below a PS5 and below an Xbox, I think people are going to naturally gravitate towards that if they're looking for a high-end gaming experience that's different from a Nintendo Switch 2. I think that's one big component. And then console gamers in general, like the reason that we console game is because it's all done for us. We don't have to worry about specs on games and everything else that goes with building a PC out, or the expenses of purchasing a new PC and putting in mods and everything else. Like, that's most console gamers are like, all right, it's done for me. I know it runs it. New games come out, I play it, it goes. That's it, right? Like, put the disc in and I play.
I think really, once it comes out, how they decide to market this, because it is going to be like a direct to consumer model. So it's not really going to have that, spot at Target.
Yeah.
Where it's directly competing side by side with the other consoles.
That'll help them on profit margin too.
Yeah. I think that really the biggest way to sell the Steam machine to console gamers is to say, hey, everything on PlayStation eventually winds up on Steam, and Xbox is going away. So if you want one thing that can play everything but Nintendo games, this is it.
Have you seen did I send you the meme video of the guy that's like, he's playing Nintendo and he's like, hey, this is Nintendo, what's up? And he's like, hey, did you see that Valve is releasing, the Steam machine? And he's like, yeah, so what? He's like, it's shaped like a cube. Okay, like there's nothing I can do. It's a cube. Like, we don't own anything. He's like, it's also a PC. He's like, okay, well, can it play Zelda? He's like, it could play Zelda if it emulates games. He's like, PCs emulate our games. It's like, we're going to call our lawyers right away. Like,
nice.
It's hilarious, man. I got to find that video and post it on our Facebook. But it's this like realization from Nintendo of like, oh crap, it can play Nintendo games at the end of the day. I think
I can't wait to see like 50% of Steam Machine owners like get a sticker or a 3D printed like GameCube faceplate for this thing.
Have you seen that they have like a Portal faceplate for the Cube? Like the Portal cubes? Yeah, I've seen that. Maybe it was like AI generated, but it would be
That's
cool.
My favorite part is just like they never go like, who was it? Xbox went the hardest. Xbox had the faceplates.
Yeah.
That you could change out on the 360, and that was like the best. Like, I know that they make like different side panels for like the PS5 and stuff. My god, man, when I was pulling my like PS5 Pro like side panel off to put the disc drive on, I thought I was gonna crack that shit in half.
Yeah,
they are on there. They do not feel like they want to be just changed out.
That's a reason I just vacuum my PS5. Just wipe dust off. I don't mess with it beyond that. If it dies, so be it. I gotta know if there went at some point. But as far as this console is concerned, I do kind of wonder if they're gonna run like a Steam OS on it, so it just boots up right to Steam. I think they are, and so to me, that's honestly a better experience as a gamer as well. So I don't have to like crack open Windows and find the Steam app and everything else is tied to it. Like if I just turn it on, it goes right to Steam, and I've got my controller that kind of acts like a mouse pad, and I can go to everything I need to go to and start my games up and all digitally. That's a pretty good experience. And Steam sales are a thing. So significantly cheaper games, a wider variety of games that have been in market for years upon years and decades. I think it really is I think it could be a destroyer of consoles if done right and marketed
Yeah,
correctly.
and I was listening to an interview they did with the Friends Per Second podcast, but they did put actually a lot of work into that aspect and proofing it out to make sure that, like, you know, it's not like the process of booting up a PC. Like, you can grab the controller, turn on the console with the controller, and it boots right to where you want to be. Like,
Yeah.
that's not they said it's not an easy thing to do, to like be able to get your PC to just like wake up from another device and launch to where you want it to.
Yeah.
So like the fact that they've gone through and kind of worked out those user experiences that, would be more of a pushback, I think that's already great. So I'm really interested to see how well this actually ends up performing.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like you can remote start your PC and have it turn on at certain times and things like that.
But you have to do that.
But yeah, you have to
You
do,
got to go through all the knowledge and figure
and
all that
it's
out yourself.
yeah, and it's like not worth the time, in my opinion, to do that. Like if I wanted to play a game, I'll just boot it up and sit in my chair. But I would love the convenience of being able to get it turned on, have it mirror to my TV, open up, like just have that quick but the fact that I have to take my mouse, open the Steam app, click in what I want to go to, all of that, like that's not exactly ideal. And that's why it does feel better to just kind of, if I wanted to jump on that chair back there and like sit back with a controller, that'd be great to play certain games. But then again, there's some games that are like mouse and keyboard only, which is
Mhm.
where their controller kind of comes in to support that as well, since it does have that like mouse pad type of feeling to it to play some of those games that are necessary with a mouse and keyboard. So cool. All right. Next thing you got here is Rockstar's co-founder Dan Howser warns of greed as GTA 6 falters, and this comes to us from Rolling Out. So basically, Dan Howser, he left Rockstar back in 2020 as a co-founder. No real information is out there as to why, but I mean, based on some of his comments here, we could kind of speculate it might have been due to like philosophical issues of creativity and profit within the gaming industry back then. But he, in an interview, he just says, hey, I think right now that the gaming industry is heading in a direction where creativity is being stifled for the likes of profit margins and greed. Long story short, in his overall interview, I think
Newsflash.
yeah. I think he's a little out of touch, to be honest, in the fact that this has been a thing for many, many years. As long as we've been doing this podcast and many years before, we've been talking about things like microtransactions, issues of games that, DLC coming out that probably could have been included in a game, but it's an extra $15, $20. Games that are being rushed and incomplete and tons of updates and bugginess, things that are, half-assed coming in the market, games that end up selling very poorly and lose companies money because they just weren't very good. Anthem being something like that, right?
Rockstar's own like GTA HD collection.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, he's right. Like companies are not looking at the creative aspects, considering they're laying off tons of devs for the sake of profit. So he's not wrong in that respect. But he's wrong in the fact of like it's coming. Like, no, dude, it's been here for some time. These companies only care about money at the end of the day.
I mean, it's coming in a big way with AI now.
Well, yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah, it's even worse now than what it was. So, like, yeah, I get what he's saying that, hey, they're going like less creativity and more tied to profits. Yeah, I would argue it's been there for many years and it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get there. It's been there. So, yeah, I mean, that's the big thing for me on that. He's a little out of touch. But outside of that, he does mention a few things like, I mean, and really the article references GTA 6 and how it's been 18 years since that was out. And Rockstar's also like laying people off while saying that they need more devs to support polishing components of GTA 6. they're delaying the game pretty. Yeah, I think over a year now it's been delayed. So yeah, it's interesting, and I think in Rockstar's perspective, the layoffs and things like that are obviously going to be profit based. And I think the biggest reason for them to take 18 years for the next game for such a major franchise is probably because they've been milking GTA 5 and making some decent money, and kind of got to a point where they felt, all right, when it gets to this end and we are only making X amount of money on the game because people have moved on, let's start the development of GTA 6. And I think that's,
I mean,
maybe they
they
had like a
did make
trigger.
Red Dead 2 in there.
Yeah, they did make Red Dead 2 in there, which is great. I mean, that's sold pretty well, so that's been able to, I guess, keep things afloat, right, with GTA 6. But I think there might have been like a trigger point for them to say, all right, when we hit this point financially with GTA 6 or GTA 5 and what it's pulling in every year, let's start the development on 6. So, I mean,
Yeah,
18 years
it's
is
just
crazy. And 3 generations of consoles as well.
Yeah, it's so wild because like they mentioned that from 4 to 5 was only 4 years.
Yeah.
So, and then they said in here that I think, what was it? Rockstar announced active development in February of 2022. So it's going to be coming out in 26. So that's going to be 4 years of development just since they, mentioned developing was, officially occurring. But I mean, there was tons and tons of, pre-planning and years of development before, the active development went into play. So it's one of those games that's been so long in the making, and it's got all these expectations, and people are, people are gonna wait. People are gonna wait forever. Like this this game's gonna make so much money that it almost doesn't matter how long they wait to put it out, because it's gonna just be that $1 billion game again. GTA 5 is the most profitable media ever made. So GTA 6 is good. I mean, they're gonna be selling that until we colonize the moon.
Yeah, like I haven't purchased a Grand Theft Auto since Grand Theft Auto 3, and I'm going to purchase 6 when it comes out. So yeah. Well, I mean, the Florida component's a big seller for me, so it'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
But okay, I looked it up here a moment ago. So Grand Theft Auto came out in 1997. Number 3 came out in 2001. Obviously, Grand Theft Auto 2 is in there as well. But so 97 to 2001 is when 3 came out. Then Vice City, which is, I mean, arguably just...
That came out like a year later.
It was a year later. And then 2 years after that was San Andreas. But in between that, they had like Vice City Stories and other, side type stuff that came out.
When was Chinatown Wars? I never played that one. That was the DS one.
I don't know. It's not on this list. And then you had San Andreas came out in 2004. So 3 years after number 3. Number 4 came out in 2008. So that is a 7-year period between 3 and 4. However, you had a bunch of other ones that came out during that time. And then between 4 and 5 was a 5-year gap. So according to this, this is basically 12 years, not 18, if you're looking at it. So let me double check this. I'm going to double check the auto release for 5, because I don't think 18 is correct. Grand Theft Auto 5 release 2013. So it's only 12 years, technically.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, is that in the
I wonder
article?
what they're
You said
talking
18?
about. Yeah, it says when game finally releases November 9th, 2026, more than 18 years will have passed since Grand Theft Auto 5 hit stores.
Yeah.
For context, only 5 years separated 2008's release of Grand Theft Auto 4 from his successor. Oh, so they used the release for 4 when they were talking about 5. So, I mean, they goofed up here a little bit on the timeline. So yeah, it should be less than the 18 years. So I mean, but still, it's a long time. I remember I got my PS3 bundled with GTA 5.
Yeah.
That mall doesn't even exist anymore where I made that purchase. That is flat earth.
Jeez. Yeah, so I mean, really at the end of the day here, we're gonna, I think, like you said, it's gonna sell like crazy when it comes out. Dan Howser maybe is a little salty here.
Go buy his book. Go buy Dan's book.
Yeah, what is it called? We'll plug it.
Something about Paradise Faster or something.
Let's see. A Better Paradise.
Okay.
Yeah,
Close enough.
and he established in 2020 Absurd Ventures. So, yeah, but I do think he might be a little salty after his departure. So, all right, let's dive into Christmas time. We're playing some Die Hard. So, Die Hard Trilogy or Die Trilogy Hard. I don't know why you put that.
I mean, if you read the title, that's what it
Die
says.
Trilogy Hard. Yeah, it's Die Hard Trilogy on the PS1. So this is developed by Probe Entertainment, published by Fox Interactive. Lead designers were Michael Hart, David S. J. Hodgson, and Simon Pick. It was released in 1997. It is a third-person shooter, a light gun shooter, and a driving game. And it has a reception of 8 out of 10. Give us the synopsis, sir.
All right, 3 different games in one hard package. Following the first game, you play as New York City cop John McClane as he runs through Nakatomi Plaza in a third-person shooter. And then the sequel, Die Harder, is an on-rail style gunner where you play as John McClane again at the Dulles Airport to thwart another terrorist plot. And then lastly, Die Hard with a Vengeance, you can take control of a vehicle driving around the city to defuse bombs before they destroy the city. So this is basically 3 games. They made the second game. That was kind of the initial thing. And then Fox was like, hey, make more games to match with the movies. And then there's actually a Die Hard Trilogy 2 set in Vegas.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's crazy that you made a game, which was 3 games, and then you got to make a sequel to those 3 games. That's wild.
Now,
but
this is very much like 3 separate arcade games. It wasn't necessarily like a standalone game and a big standalone game. Like it's if you went to the arcade and you were sitting in front of a machine and you were playing a rail shooter, it's that style. Like you progress and you kind of go through and you do your thing. Same thing with like the vehicle. Think Crazy Taxi, even though it's not the right type of comparison, but Crazy Taxi.
I got one. The Star Wars one where you can play like the Hoth level, or you can do the lightsaber duel, or you can do the like speeder bikes.
Yeah, kind of like that. You go around New York crashing into people because it's a mess to try and control the vehicle properly. So there's blood splattering everywhere. You can pick up like time bonuses while you're trying to stop bombs from going off. So you're searching for bombs in New York City. And that's kind of the basis of it, right? And then the other one, like you said, is this like third-person shooter where you start in a parking garage, you progress your way through to different parts of like different levels, and you're just kind of making your way through waves of enemies in this like top-down third-person shooter type of view.
Yeah, and that one's okay actually.
Yeah, that was good.
It's definitely not the most complicated third-person shooter, but you've got like a side roll dodge. You can pick up like other weapons. You've got grenades. Like you've got so much life. Like it took me so long to die the first time, and I was just taking everybody on head on, and then I died, and I was like, let me try this a little bit more, strategically this time. And the enemies kept respawning. I wasn't exactly sure what to do on all the levels. I think you just kind of have to like rescue all the hostages and then figure out like where the exit is. But I ran around a couple of those levels. I did like it, but it felt very much like the second game was the most well put together, I guess, just because I don't know, like an on rails gunner game, like a light gun kind of game, like what you're getting, and it doesn't take a lot to feel pretty feature rich. And I think it looked the best out of all 3 of the games. Like you could actually see like the facial expressions, like when you would like shoot somebody and they would die, and there's like just a lot more effort. Like I think it very much stands out as the original game that they made, and then the other 2 just kind of like, my god, the driving in that driving game, hitting
bad.
like R2 to make like a hard right turn, but you just turn too far or just immediately U-turn on a dime. It was very weird controls.
Yeah, that one,
and I could not get the third bomb ever.
Yeah, that one was rough. I did get the third bomb on that one. But I think for me, the first Die Hard game out of the three was the best one. I actually
Okay.
played them accidentally in reverse. So I played the third one, then the second, then the first. But so I think the first one was the best one in my opinion. I do kind of lean towards that style of gameplay. Now that opinion might differ if I had a light gun that I was playing with.
Mhm.
For that rail shooter, that would make it significantly easier to play versus using a joystick or D-pad essentially. And then yeah, the third one was obviously the worst one. Um, it's a pain in the ass. Like to reverse, you actually have to press down on the D-pad to like back up if you crash into something, which kind of caught me off guard. And
Yeah.
then obviously forward to be able to move forward. So yeah, I mean, in their on their own as well, I wouldn't like go out of my way to play any of these. Like this wouldn't be something I'd say, yeah, I'm like really looking forward to play Die Hard 1 or 2 or 3 as its own separate
Come on,
game.
John. It's for the season. Get in the spirit.
It's the reason for the season, right? So yeah, so I think looking at like brass tacks here for these games, Complete in Box is $12.53 to peaked at $16.49 in March of this year, and it's trending down in price right now. Uh, I think that's worth it, to be honest. Like, they're still decent games, like in their own right, and you're getting some variety. So you're getting like that driving type game, you're getting the rail shooter, you're getting the third
Yeah.
person shooter. You have the
For $4 a game.
basically, yeah, you've got like the arcade style feel, like, oh, I got to get the highest score, and how far can I progress in the game to complete it? So you have all that going for it. So I think that's worth it. A loose copy right now will run you $9.25, peaked at $10.47 in March of this year as well. Also trending down, and the most expensive version being $50 for complete in box on Sega Saturn, which is honestly, in my opinion, very cheap for a Saturn game. I'm actually kind of surprised at a complete in box being $50. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you could go wrong below $15. I think that this game is deflated at its current price point.
One thing to note, though, that it does say in the wiki is that this is one of the few light gun games for the PlayStation that is not compatible with Namco's GunCon, GCon 45, or GunCon 2. So just note, if you have one of those light gun controls, this game will not be compatible.
Yeah, and I unfortunately have one of those light gun controls, so it is not compatible. Also, I just don't have the type of TV to run this as well. So you do kind of need a older TV to do it properly, and that kind of sucks.
Well, they made like a new gun. Somebody did, right?
I don't know. I haven't looked
It
at
works
it.
for HD TVs.
Probably for PS1 games.
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't looked.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll look around. But that's it for that. So Christmas season, what are we playing next? You mentioned like some Home Alone games.
Yeah. So we'll do Home Alone, and then we'll find like a couple other games.
I think based on your current outfit, we should play a Scrooge McDuck game.
Is there a DuckTales Before Christmas?
I don't know. We can look. I don't know. Maybe there's a Christmas type game for DuckTales.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but for sure we'll play some sort of Home Alone. I don't even know what the hell the Home Alone games are on.
Like the NES, man. That's when they came out.
Oh no, I do have that then. I think it's on SNES. Yeah,
that too.
I've got a Home Alone game. Yeah,
I think there's a mess of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do have one or two. Now you mention it, so that's a good pick. And then I'll find something else in the collection that we can play. So I'm sure I've got Christmas games laying around. I don't. Even
if
know.
you have two of them, then they're never Home Alone.
Oh my god! All right, I think we end on that. So this has been episode 370 of the Game Deflators podcast. My name's John.
I'm Ryan.
And thanks for listening and watching.